Hello everyone, thank you for joining us today. Welcome back to Prince Nikki's channel. Thank you for watching the previous video on this new project that we showcased to you. It's been about nearly 3 weeks ago now we shared the video. I think I've decided I'm not going to say we're going to try and post more because it just never happens, does it?
No, just trying to find the time is a problem, isn't it?
Yeah, so I'm not going to say and promise to you that I'm going to bring you videos weekly because it just doesn't happen. So thank you for coming back, everyone. We hope you enjoyed the first video on this project. This is Project Yao. Project Yao is 4 times 2 bedroom apartments with...
Oh, it has increased now.
Yes. What we have now got is a much bigger property and space that you have. We've actually introduced a lower ground floor apartment as opposed to the carport that we had designed, and we've also gained a massive storage space.
Area,
yeah, so watch this space and we'll bring that to you. We've done really good works in gaining space and saving money for the client, so we'll bring that for you in the near future. Thank you to all of the new subscribers that's been joining us in the new year and continuing to watch us. If you haven't already subscribed to us, please do hit the subscribe button and share our videos to help us share the knowledge and skills that we have. What you're seeing on the screen is the image that the client brought to us. This was a 2D image which had the 4 times 2 bedroom apartments. This is what we had to start from. And what I will do later on in the video is I'll put an image of what we've came up with. As I said, this image was based on a flat land, wasn't it?
It was. As I said, this land is in Pan-African Village, and when the client bought the land, the design was done in America. The assumption was the land was flat. So after visiting the site, when we realized that the land wasn't flat, we had to draw on all our experiences or how best could we come up with a house that will follow the land, take advantage of the land. That is where we came back with a proposal of having the lower ground floor to be a carport. But since then, as Nikki said earlier, the client has requested it to be a bedroom, which we currently incorporated into the design.
I think one of the key things about when you're doing your project, you really need to ensure that you have a good solid team around you and that you have a good client relationship so that you're able to talk daily and talk about how the project's going, what you're seeing, sending videos and sharing, reviewing and actually coming up with the best ideas and solutions. And as Prince said, in this case, when we saw the site and it started coming together, we realised it was such a large space to waste, and I think it was really good decision that were made by the client to utilise the space that we have there to make an additional apartment. So he has gained another 2 bedroom apartment. One of the things, obviously, when you're doing changes to the land, especially when it's the land that's sloping, it's essential that you have a skilled team, that you're reviewing the drawings that you originally have, and that you have the technical ability behind that to do that. It's really important that you have the engineer to check things and that you have the knowledge of the construction methods that need to be applied, because
it's very important, because if someone is building for you and doesn't understand the processes, for example, we had to refer back to the Ghanaian building code to say what is the height allowed for the basement, what is the minimum height for a bedroom. In this case, when the client said, oh, no, I really don't want to use that place for a carport, but I want a bedroom, we have to refer back to the building code, which we found out that the minimum height required for a bedroom is 2.3 meters, and which we have gained more than that for that area. We're looking at 2.8 meters now for that space, so that's over and above the minimum requirement for a bedroom according to the Ghanaian building code.
Yeah, and obviously,
how would the compound look like?
whilst
Where
you're
do we
doing
need
all
to
these
put retaining
changes, you
walls?
need to
All those details
always
in
hold
terms
in mind
of the
the structural
landscaping,
integrity,
everything
but
has been talked
also
about
coordinating the
incorporated
design
into the design,
elements.
see and agree with the client.
It's really
Because what
important
you
that
don't
whenever
want
you're
is
making
to
changes
finish your
that you're
house and
thinking
you come to
about
do
it
fillings, your
all as
steps are
one
all
and
over
how
the
it's going
place.
to
So
look from the
everything needs
front
to
of
be
house,
need
how
to
the
be
floor of the house,
discussed,
how
talk about, design
the
properly.
landscaping, everything needs to be thought out.
Those of you who've
really
watched our
carefully.
journey, obviously
In order to do that, we
Prince
had to
Nikki, we
get our
started with our own
designer to give us
building
a 3D of
project.
all the
It had
image,
been
all
our
the
second
experience that we
project in
brought on
Ghana.
board here to say how will this
But
house
as
look like when it's
time's gone
finished.
on, we've obviously started P&D Construction Limited. We are a fully registered company, fully tax paying, and we just really wanted to bring the knowledge and skills that we have and experience in building. As you know, Prince is a fully chartered quantity surveyor here in London. So we have lots of different skills and dynamics within the team. Here in the back office side of it, we obviously are doing a lot of the design elements alongside the engineers and architects that we have.
Yes, we got a whole team of consulting engineers, architects. We contact depending on the complexity of the project, making sure that we get the right advice and also the budget of the client. So that the team is there to support us in anything we're doing.
Yeah, so rest assured, obviously, for those of you who have made inquiries, as you see, the quality of workmanship on the ground with our team, the workforce, we've used them over time and we've upskilled them into the workmanship, but also the knowledge, particularly around the construction process. They've actually gained a lot of skills, not just in their area, but they're developing their skills as well.
That is why they have requested for pay increase. And they've got it.
Yeah, it is a passion of ours. We do want to obviously employ and develop people there. So we're really pleased with that we're also bringing employment to people on the ground as well. But it is underpinned by a skilled set of professionals behind. And I think until you understand the amount of time and knowledge that goes into it behind the scenes, my goodness, Prince and Mike, who's on the ground, they talk daily, multiple times. It's just a constant discussions back and forth, because Prince talks about the methodology, how educating around the theory around it, and obviously tying that in together with the experience of labouring and all the on the ground stuff. And I think it makes a real good team.
It's the whole package, trying to coordinate everything, because being responsible for the whole operation is to be able to view things from afar, say operationally, how does everything looks about. You're thinking about the next trade gonna coming in, what do they need to know about the build process. So everyone is talking to each other. It's the coordination of all the various elements of the work is very, very, very important in order to achieve the desired outcome.
Yeah, and I think obviously where the client here said, can we change the carport to a 2-bedroom apartment, that's where the skill comes in from us to say, actually, right, we need to bring in the plumbing, we need to bring in all the different elements to the schedule, because we always bring a schedule on site for all the different trades.
Yeah, because we got a program that we work to. We prepare a construction program where we on site. We know how long everything is gonna take. Mind you, this has taken us longer because of the challenges we found on the land, and also sourcing the right labor in the local area. But we are not far off of where we should be.
Yeah. Here you can see on the screen, this is what we came up with when we was going to work with the land and have the carport. However, as we said, after discussions with the client, we decided he wanted to use that space for an additional apartment. So we then obviously got it redesigned and made sure it's recalculated and make sure. So now you're going to see on the image the apartment underneath. So that gives you a little bit of an image. And it also shows that we've thought about the landscaping and the retaining wall as well. So we work holistically to kind of bring everything together, really. For those of you who are interested, in terms of this land, there's a 10-foot difference in the change of the land. So it is quite a large difference, but I think we've worked well with the land space that we've had.
As you can see here, work is just progressing on casting the footing. It's very important that you make sure your footing is to the right depth, as shown on the drawing. Here we have to go a bit deeper, make some adjustment because of the additional load due to the lower ground floor. So additional columns were introduced by our engineer. Some of this we just finished on the ground floor just to deal with the additional load. Yeah, also some of the additional costs we incurred here was the columns. You can see the columns here. We have to use the full length of the iron rods because the height. Originally, we were thinking of using these, cutting them in three and just use them to save money for the foundation stage. But because we're going down that deep, we have to use a full length of the iron rod.
Yeah, and I think that's a consideration for anyone who's building on a sloped land, is to think about the costs that you might incur with that as well.
But I must say, overall, because the iron rod prices has fallen,
Yeah.
when we did the estimate at the peak of last year to now, overall on iron rod, we have not spent more than the estimate, what was in the budget. So overall, the budget is where it should be.
Yeah.
In terms of the reinforcement.
I think there's a lot to be gained if you have a sloped land, as we say. We have used obviously the whole rod, but if you're looking at this project in particular, you've actually gained a 2-bedroom apartment, and as you're looking here on the screen, obviously we're doing the lower ground floor, but we've also actually it steps up again to additional storage. So there's a lot of gains from the land.
Yeah. Is it more expensive to build on a sloping land? Yes, it is. But the advantage is you can take off the land to get all the usable spaces that otherwise you might not have use because there's no need just to build a big foundation and just fill it with earth. Then you begin to get issues with damp and all those things. So if you can dig the ground a bit, cut the level, that is great. And also when you want to build on a slope land, you must always start from the lowest point of the land because that is the only way you can get the levels right. Usually your drawings should tell you the various levels to get. If you start from the top and do your foundation first, likelihood is that you'll struggle in getting the level. You might end up going further down than you need. It's always advisable, it's always a good practice to start from the lowest level to get that level right, then you go up. That's the way construction is done.
I'm just here giggling at the video because I just realised one of the staff was making a point of showing the super strong material. I must say, even though we're far away in distance, we do have good jokes and video calls with the guys, and we, personal relationships with them now. I know them all by their hat. I have jokes with them because some of them wear really funny hats and stuff as well. So we have good laughs with them, don't we?
Yeah, and also the video was also for the client to show that we're using what we said we'll use, because I think it's the instances whereby people don't necessarily use the materials that they're meant to use on their project.
Yeah, it's about transparency, and as I say, we always send daily videos to the clients of what's going on. So the videos that you're going to see now, we're actually further ahead than that, and the client themselves have got those videos, although he does like to watch a video again when we put it on YouTube, and he likes to watch it again, don't you? Shout out to Francis, he loves the videos that he gets, so I'm really happy that he's enjoying that.
Yeah, so at this stage we finished the footing, so the guys are just doing the boxing so that we cast the columns. As you see, this is a lower ground floor, so really it's not your very tall foundation level, but in the landscaping plan, what is this, that when the land is dark, we will achieve the levels that we want at least, because the DPM needs to be 15 centimeters above, minimum 15 centimeters above the ground level. So all those have been factored into the landscaping plan when it is done.
Yes, and where you see the wheelbarrow in the future videos, you will see that there's actually a retaining wall there that will hold the higher points of the land. That's a whole retaining wall. And some of the videos that you will see now and coming up, there seems to be a lot of sand around, but it's actually the material that's been taken out. So the levels are not what you're seeing now, or this is excess, and it will be fully raked out and made correctly in the meantime.
Yeah, we just saw the guys there. Here we're using actually hand mix because we're struggling to get concrete mixing machines. We place orders, they'll promise you, and they say you can't get any. So we managed to get one for the casting, which was an issue. They tried to get it up to the hill.
Yeah, that's one of the things. Obviously, working down in Cape Coast, the resources have been slightly different and challenging to get the machines.
I'll say particularly this side because
Yeah.
there is a hill to go to the side.
Yeah.
And the people from Cape Coast, when you go and place an order for something to be brought down, they will say, "Oh, my car, I'm not going over that hill."
Yeah.
So it's the issue. The access is the issue.
Yes, because the Pan-African villages, there's different sides to it.
Yeah.
And where this particular land, there's a different road you take, different routes, and
The shortest
it's hard.
route. The shortest route is because it's got a hill.
Yeah, the
and,
shortest route is high, so they have to go the longer route round. But
like-
I think that's one of the reasons why we're really focused on the timescales, because, as I said, we are always coordinating, planning, and we're thinking ahead. Rainy season will come, and we want to get all the groundworks done, get the retaining wall, think about, obviously, all the land that's being cleared. That rain will come down and move all the sand. So we
Yeah.
want to get all the groundworks and the foundation slabs as far as we can, so that any deliveries that might become a challenge in the rainy season, obviously that's all done, and it's just thinking about block laying and things. So we're working with the client to help them get to a reasonable point before the rains start to come. I will say it does make a difference, obviously, once everything's backfilled in. You can see the shape taking, but also as a customer myself, when we did our house, I was like, so where did all that money go? It's all gone in the ground, but it's the biggest important part, isn't it, for holding the house
One
up?
of the advantages of cutting the ground, the lower ground floor, is that all the earth over there, which is grade 1 laterite, will just use to backfill again. So the client save a lot of money in terms of the backfilling. We haven't bought any of materials, laterite, to do the fillings. So that is a great savings, all giving back to the project. So although there were challenges, there are certain areas where we spend more than due to the challenges of the land. There were savings that were made that went back into the project budget.
Yeah, and you've got to look at it. You've gained a 2-bedroom apartment plus a massive storage. But one thing I will want to say is, if you are new to the channel and you're one of the people that have been on site, on ground, saying, looking at the project, I want to say a massive hi to you as well, because Mike has said there's been a few people that's actually been on the Pan-African village this week, passing by.
The landowners, a lot of
Yeah.
people who bought land, they came to see the land. So yeah.
Yeah, it's obviously, if you're on site and you're looking around, people have been really interested in how we're achieving to the build with the land, that the natural course of the land. So yeah, hi to you all if you are watching. If you are watching, comment below and let us know that you're one of them. So we want to give you a big hi and welcome. But thank you for showing interest. And obviously we're happy to help you with the knowledge. So for those of you who are watching this in interest in how you do the foundation footings and everything, once you get to this stage, as I said, there's excess soil. It isn't actually this low as you're seeing it. So just take note that this was not the finishing level. All that soil will be moved because it needs to be set below the DPM. So this is where you would be making sure that you're ready. Everything's nice and smooth and laid out. What you would then be doing is adding just a small course of sand blending.
50 to 75 mil of
Yeah.
sand blending before the DPM is laid.
And what the sand blending is, a very fine sand. It will make sure that there's no stones or anything from the laterite that will come through onto the damp-proof membrane. As you know, with all of our projects that you watched, we always use DPM, damp-proof membrane, and we overlay that, each piece, overlay it, and we tape it. That's to ensure that there's no moisture rising up from the laterite onto the floor slab.
One thing that is quite important is sand blending. You must sand blend. It is in every building code that you will read or building regulations you will read. So the purpose of the sand blending is that it prevents the stones in the laterite piercing through the membrane, which is the damp-proof membrane, because over time the groundwater will rise, and any holes that you have, the water will find there, and you get issues with damp. So you can't just not put a hard coat down and just put DPM down.
And the thickness of the DPM is also very important. Obviously, we did our research and made sure we found and sourced a high quality DPM for our own project. DPM is not something new. It's used in all the buildings here. It's used on all the buildings that we do.
It is.
So we've used it on our project in Ghana.
You must select the right specification for your project, depending on the groundwater level. You need to speak to your designer.
Yeah, so we use it on our own. If you want to learn a little bit more about that, on our channel we've got playlists of different projects that we've done. Our own house project, Casa Josie, project Lashibi, this one project Yao, you'll see that. So there's lots of videos, and there's also singular videos about how to lay DPM and DPC, so check that out. And thank you for those of you who have recently purchased DPM and DPC offers. As I said in previous videos, we are now stocking and selling this, so hit us up on the number on the screen if you do want to purchase that directly from us.
The thing with building is you must understand the theory behind it, and based on the experience, then you can improve upon what you do.
Yeah, and I think even you've said before, you've been doing this 20 years, and even 10 years ago, you wouldn't know now what you knew then, isn't it?
No, you learn new things every day.
Yeah.
Say in the UK, there are new methodology, new technologies coming every day in terms of the construction. So there are new things every day, but the core skills are there. The way you're meant to do stuff, which is the regulations is there. In the UK, every now and then there's new building regulations. A new one just came recently, so you must always be abreast with the latest regulation, how to do stuff properly.
What you'll see here is obviously the guys laying the DPM. As I said earlier, we always get videos, we're always reviewing it. And from early on stage to where we are now, these guys have come a long way. We send videos and we review them, and we tell them this is not quite right. In particular, this video, what we wanted is a second overlay of the pipe work and making sure that all the columns and everything is fully isolated. So we make sure that we quality control and send them back to make sure, and they've come a long way.
Yeah, because usually there is a DPM, a collar that goes around the pipe works and stuff, but we don't have those really available in Ghana. So you cut the DPM around and use a DPM tape to make sure that it will secure, everything is secure, that there is no avenue for the water ingress when the concrete is cast on top. So as you will see in the video, surely you will see that all the joints have been taped. It needs to overlap minimum of 4 inches before you tape. We recommend using double-sided tape because we think that is a better tape than a single-sided tape. These are DPM specifically designed to take moisture from the ground, to resist moisture from the ground. So you need to use those when you are doing it.
So yes, you can see here, this is before we was about to start the casting of the lower ground floor. All the DPM is down, it's all been taped. You can see the gradient of the land layer, on the back wall. It is obviously quite a significant change, 10 foot. But yeah, to the right here, where you can see the piles of blocks and things, that middle section and beyond to the right, that will be coming up in the next video, whereby we also gained an additional storage area. Me personally, I said the size of the room, I said I wouldn't be surprised if Francis want to use that as a boys' quarters.
No, but it's not high enough. It's not. It doesn't meet the requirement to use as a room. So it's placed over two levels.
Yeah.
One is what, according to definition of a usable area, is unusable usable the area,
Yeah.
the order doesn't meet it, so you
Yeah.
can just put stuff there.
You can see here the soil, the depth of that soil is a big jump, but it's also a big jump to the third step in the land. So you can't specify it to be a room just based on the height, going with the regulations in Ghana. However, it is a big enough space for storage.
Yeah, I think we have now dug that area down a bit, so that it's the distance there is quite shallow, because we've dug down a bit and ways to create that storage space.
Yeah, you can see here, this is where they was making amendments that we told them to, the pipework, to make sure that there's no gaps at all for the DPM and the tape. So the next video that you're going to see after this will be the lower ground floor casting, and then obviously the progress that we've made with the next step up level. So that will be the next video coming up. Do comment below and let us know what you think of the video. We've obviously brought lots of images, and it does take time, so give us a shout out. Do share the video as well and let us know what you're thinking. In terms of updates, so in our own project, as you see on the channel, Prince and Nikki's house has been roofed. We used the stone-coated roofing tiles, and we know a lot of you have enjoyed watching that. We've had a lot of you asking about how you can also source the resources. So head over to the channel and watch the videos, but thank you for joining.
Thank you. Bye.